Hello everyone, Social Coach Michael Knight here, and today what we're going to be talking about is how to deal with haters, negativity, and vengeful feelings that you may be having. My primary advice is to avoid responding to haters whenever possible. Recognize that most people's hate comes from personal frustrations that are in their own lives. Just imagine the life of a hardcore hater. These people are likely lonely, lack friends or a significant other, and are living lives of quiet desperation. The same attitude and personality traits that make them haters are also going to ensure that their lives don't get any better and probably only get worse. Why even waste your time trying to get back at someone who is likely going to eventually walk off the edge of a cliff on their own accord? If this realization is still not enough to quench your desire for vengeance towards some people, then realize the opposite of love is not hate, but indifference. Nothing makes a hater, bully, or troll crazier than being ignored. As the famous saying goes, living well is the best revenge. For them to see you go through life happy without them, in addition to being indifferent about their very existence, will likely be the most crushing blow that you could deal them. This is also the strategy that is best for your own sanity and success. Every moment that you spend caring about some dumb remark is a moment stolen from your life. By letting a person get under your skin, you're letting them steal your time, the thing that should be the most precious resource to you. It's better to ignore the person. Choosing to antagonize them could just cost you a disproportionate amount of time and resources in the long run. That time could be spent enjoying your life. This reminds me of situations that would sometimes occur when I was either out alone or sometimes with clients, coaching them at a bar or nightclub, and I would be doing really well with some girls, and some guy in the corner would get jealous and just want to ruin it by starting a fight or making some other type of scene. And actually twice in my life I've had it where a guy pulled the back of my shirt out, like the back of my collar without me seeing, and poured a full drink down the back. And the first time this happened, I remember, was in Germany, and the guy, he kind of looked like Shrek, maybe a little bit less green, but the face and head was pretty close to Shrek, especially the ears sticking out. And the funny thing is I was actually being friendly with him, talking about the bar before I went down to sit at a table of maybe 6 to 8 girls and introduce myself. Now, my plan was to eventually introduce them to him as well and call him over, but I was first getting, for Shrek to come over, it could have been a little bit much, so I wanted to first warm up the table. Well, he got impatient, not knowing this, and decided to come up behind me, pull out my shirt, and dump a beer down, to which then he goes, "This is what you get for leaving us for the bitches," and then walks out the front door. Now, what could I do? I could get upset and have it ruin my night, which is what he's hoping will happen. I could follow him out the door, probably get the shit kicked out of me. Or I could just continue enjoying with the girls, laugh it off, have a good time, get their numbers, and meet with some of them later. Well, that's what I did in the end. I didn't let him ruin my night. I still had a good conversation, and actually the drama he created, where the girls were like, "Oh my God, guys fighting over us," that actually only made the conversation better in the long run, giving them something to talk about. Second time was a similar situation, different country. And I was talking to this beautiful blonde girl, and a guy came up, and this guy I hadn't even spoken to before, had no idea who he was, pulled out the back of my shirt and dumped a drink down it. This time I don't think it was a full beer. I think it was more likely like a cocktail, because I remember having to untuck my shirt and having like the ice cubes fall out on the floor. And this time I saw a security guy to the left, so I just tapped him on the shoulder, and I was like, "Oh, this guy just poured a drink down my back, and you can see it's wet." And he threw the guy out. And I kept talking with the blonde girl, got her number, and we went on dates a couple days later. And again, I didn't let it ruin my night, which is what he wanted. And actually, my friend left that club a few hours earlier than me, and when he left, he was like, "Oh, did you see that guy again on your way out?" I was like, "No, I didn't see him." He was like, "Oh man." He was on the ground, his shirt was like half torn off, and he was just covered with blood and surrounded by police. Now, I don't know what happened to him. He probably, maybe after he got thrown out, he started to start a fight with someone else, and he lost that fight, and then the police came. Or maybe he got in a fight with the police themselves, maybe. This is a country where the police would beat the living crap out of you if you started something. This is not in the US. And so maybe the police did that to them, I don't know. But it was like almost instant karma, right? What were my options? I could get in a fight myself, get hurt, maybe hit my head on the side of concrete, could die that way. Definitely ruin my night with the girl because that interaction will be over. I don't have her contact info yet. Or stay calm, stay cool, don't let it ruin my night, keep the good vibe in the club, get her number, and then go date her later. That's me winning. The winning scenario is my night not being ruined and me getting to go on a date with a beautiful girl. That's what that guy wanted to ruin. Me letting his trolling interrupt what I wanted to do would be him winning. Even if I could go out and beat him in a fight, which I couldn't, but even if I could do that and I won the fight, I still lose because my primary objective wasn't to get into the fight. My primary objective was to get on a date with this girl. So in both these cases, by keeping my cool and not letting a troll bother me, I'm actually the most successful in the long run. This is even more true when it comes to online trolls and haters. Imagine that you're about to walk into your company building to attend a board meeting, and then some homeless drug addict on the street starts screaming insults at you. Would you invite such a random person to join you in your meeting and listen to their advice? No, of course not. If you're on your own personal path, achieving your own personal goals, and living your life by your own values, then it actually becomes very easy to simply ignore haters. In my own lifetime, it seems that people have never been angrier than now. Social media and clickbait news cycles being large contributors to this. Even I can't read the news without getting angry at some ridiculous article every day. And I have to remind myself that their ability to either anger me or maybe just validate their core audience is how they win. That's how they make money. Getting a rise out of me is what they want. Most forums nowadays, they're not looking to have actual conversations or discussions. They simply have an agenda to promote. And they have armies of followers who never develop their own identity and thus treat their word as scripture. Pretty much everyone is just being played against one another all the time to the enormous benefit of very few. So it's better not to partake so you're not one that's being played. In addition, some people just prefer playing the part of the victim. They would prefer being provided with justifications for not doing something rather than with help or with a solution. This normally takes one of two forms. The first I call anger porn, where you just listen to someone else blame others and completely shift the blame off of you. The second is what I call a magic pill solution. People may even be willing to spend tons of money in order to buy false hope that one day that their problem will be solved in the future, but again, not really put in the real effort necessary to actually solve the problem. Just think of all those advertisements on TV for all those weight loss products and all the money people are willing to spend on strange exercise contraptions or buying diet milkshakes. There's no money to be made in promoting the simple true solution of monitoring your diet and exercise. The same is true for much of the advice that I'm giving. Although there are some fundamentals which I can definitely teach you, it'll still require some work from you to put them into practice. There's more money to be made in lying to you and having you click on some affiliate link that sells some magical solution. And with that in mind, please remember to like and subscribe and consider becoming a Patreon subscriber, not just to support my work, but also to get access to Enhanced EQ online video course that I created. More information can be found in the description below. That's all for today. Until next time, ciao.